The glass in the window rattled with the wind outside. Inside, the silence was heavy, broken only by the clock on the mantel. She had received a letter 5 days prior, postmarked from a city she had never visited. The envelope felt heavier than it should have. Why was it from a county probate office? Eleanor Vance, at 78, had entrusted her entire life savings and her financial future to Marcus Webb. For 18 years, Webb was more than just a financial advisor. He was a steadfast presence, a seemingly impenetrable barrier against the anxieties of an uncertain world. He had meticulously managed her portfolio, initially valued at an impressive $850,000, ever since her beloved husband, Arthur, passed away in 2005. Each quarter, a precisely formatted statement would arrive in her mailbox, detailing what appeared to be modest but consistently reassuring returns. The statements conspicuously bore the letterhead of Vance and Associates Financial Solutions. Webb frequently assured her this was a bespoke, boutique firm, explicitly specializing in highly personalized service for a select clientele. Eleanor, in her trusting nature, had never once questioned the firm's peculiar name, nor the meticulous details. Why would she, when everything seemed so perfectly in order? In late 2018, Marcus Webb, Eleanor's trusted financial advisor, strongly urged her to diversify her substantial portfolio. He presented an exclusive opportunity, proposing the transfer of $1.2 million into a new private investment vehicle he termed the Signet Growth Fund. Webb meticulously explained that this was a private placement designed to offer an impressive 8.5% annual yield, a figure that significantly outpaced prevailing market averages. He emphasized its exclusivity and potential for high returns. To facilitate this crucial transfer, Eleanor was required to sign a series of intricate documents, including an investment management agreement, revised 2018, and a limited partnership subscription agreement. Trusting Webb implicitly, and without scrutinizing the fine print that detailed the terms and conditions, Eleanor affixed her signature to each paper. She hadn't reviewed a financial document in over a decade and saw no reason to change that habit now, placing her full faith in her advisor's recommendations. For the next 3 years, the Signet Growth Fund consistently appeared on Eleanor's quarterly financial statements. The projected 8.5% annual yield, a key selling point, materialized without fail, reflecting a significant paper value of $1,506,000 by mid-2021. However, a crucial detail lay hidden. These attractive statements originated from Signet Capital Management, LLC, a distinct entity Webb had meticulously registered in Delaware in 2018, separate from his primary firm. The address listed on these Signet statements was merely a P.O. box in Wilmington, a common tactic to obscure a physical location. Simultaneously, Eleanor continued to receive her familiar Vance and Associates statements, which clearly showed the remaining $300,000 of her initial investment. Crucially, she did not cross-reference the two sets of documents, a critical oversight. The numbers presented across both sets of statements perfectly matched the detailed financial narrative Webb had so convincingly presented, reinforcing her trust. In early 2022, Eleanor's neighbor, Charles Dutton, initiated a casual conversation over their shared garden fence. Dutton mentioned that his personal financial advisor, a gentleman he referred to simply as Mr. Webb, had recently retired. To illustrate his point, Dutton produced a folded newspaper clipping from the Midlands Financial Gazette, clearly dated January 12, 2022. The article meticulously detailed Marcus Webb's formal retirement from Midlands Wealth Management after a distinguished 30-year career with the firm. An accompanying photograph showed Webb shaking hands with the company's CEO, signifying a significant professional transition. Eleanor, slightly perplexed, calmly informed Dutton that her Mr. Webb was still actively working and providing financial advice. Dutton's initial surprise was evident as he remarked that he had distinctly heard Webb had relocated to Florida following his retirement. Despite this clear discrepancy, the conversation naturally shifted to other neighborhood topics, and Eleanor, perhaps not fully grasping the implications, did not pursue the matter further at that moment. In August 2022, facing significant home repair costs, Eleanor found herself in urgent need of $50,000. She reached out to Marcus Webb, her trusted financial advisor. Webb strongly cautioned against liquidating any portion of her Signet investment. He explained that such a move could trigger substantial capital gains taxes, significantly reducing the net amount she would receive. Instead, he proposed an alternative solution: a short-term bridge loan directly from Vance and Associates. This loan, he assured her, would be secured by her remaining $300,000 investment portfolio, avoiding any immediate tax implications. The loan agreement, meticulously dated August 15, 2022, clearly stipulated a 7.2% annual interest rate. Shortly after, Eleanor received the $50,000 via a wire transfer, originating from an account explicitly labeled Marcus Webb Escrow. She formally signed all the necessary loan documents in the comfort of her own kitchen, with Webb present, observing her silently. This arrangement provided the immediate funds without disturbing her primary investments. The envelope Eleanor tore open in Scene 1 contained a formal notice of claim, specifically addressing the impending liquidation of Signet Capital Management, LLC. This official document unequivocally declared the firm insolvent, stating that all its assets had been irrevocably frozen by a direct order from the State of Delaware Department of Justice, dated October 20th, 2023. Furthermore, the notice meticulously detailed that Signet Capital Management, LLC was officially categorized as a shell corporation, possessing absolutely no legitimate operational history or verifiable business activities. This crucial piece of mail represented the very first official communication Eleanor had received from any source other than Webb concerning the mysterious entity of Signet. Her substantial $1.5 million investment, a sum she had carefully accumulated over years, was starkly categorized as unrecoverable at this time, plunging her into a profound state of financial uncertainty and alarm. Upon realizing the discrepancy, Eleanor immediately attempted to contact Marcus Webb, her financial advisor, at Vance & Associates Financial Solutions. She used the phone number provided on her last statement. To her dismay, the number was disconnected. Next, she visited the office address listed on her old statements, 45 Broad Street, Suite 201. However, the directory now clearly indicated that suite was occupied by Broad Street Accounting. A quick inquiry with the building's receptionist confirmed that no firm named Vance & Associates Financial Solutions had ever occupied that specific suite. Further investigation using the state's official business registry revealed an even more unsettling truth. Vance and Associates Financial Solutions had officially been dissolved in 2007, a full 2 years after her husband's passing. This meant that for 16 long years, Eleanor had been receiving financial statements from an entity that legally no longer existed, a fact that was profoundly disturbing and not immediately obvious. Just 1 week following the initial unsettling correspondence, a second, far more alarming envelope arrived. This package contained a default notice issued by a previously unknown local bank, outlining a short-term bridge loan amounting to $50,000. The document unequivocally stated that this significant sum was now critically overdue, demanding the immediate repayment of the full principal along with all accrued interest, culminating in a total demand of $53,600. Furthermore, the notice declared that the substantial collateral securing this loan, her remaining $300,000, was in the process of being seized. A crucial detail emerged. The loan had not been originated by Vance and Associates as she believed, but by Webb Financial Services, LLC, a company officially registered in Georgia in 2021. Eleanor had no recollection of ever encountering the name Webb Financial Services, LLC on any prior document until this distressing notice. The signature on the loan agreement, however, bore an uncanny resemblance to her own. Eleanor, grappling with the unsettling reality of her financial situation, reached out to attorney Brenda Davies, a formidable legal professional specializing in elder fraud. Davies, known for her meticulous approach, immediately initiated a comprehensive forensic audit of Eleanor's financial records. The audit's initial findings were alarming and immediate. They uncovered that the Investment Management Agreement, revised 2018, the very document Eleanor believed transferred a substantial $1.2 million to what she understood was the Signet Growth Fund, was not actually with Signet Capital Management, LLC, as represented. Instead, the agreement explicitly transferred these funds to Vance and Associates Financial Solutions, an entity that, shockingly, had been dissolved years prior. Furthermore, a critical clause within this fraudulent document explicitly waived Eleanor's right to arbitration, significantly complicating any future legal recourse. This was unequivocally not the document she believed she had signed, revealing a deliberate and intricate deception. Further investigation into the supposed Signet Growth Fund revealed a starkly different reality. The entire $1.2 million Eleanor transferred in 2018 never reached its intended investment vehicle. Instead, every cent was illicitly diverted into a personal account belonging to Marcus Webb at Grand Central Bank, specifically account number 1873-9002-4567. From this personal account, a substantial sum of $900,000 was promptly utilized to acquire a luxurious condominium in Miami, Florida, directly in Webb's name, on December 1, 2018. Following this, an additional $150,000 was surreptitiously transferred to an offshore account in the Cayman Islands, further obscuring the trail of funds. The remaining $150,000 was then slowly depleted through a series of various personal expenditures, prominently featuring the acquisition of a classic car collection. The Signet statements provided to Eleanor were, without question, entirely fabricated, a sophisticated deception designed to conceal the systematic siphoning of her investment. The financial statements Eleanor received from Vance and Associates Financial Solutions after 2007 were quickly identified as crude forgeries upon closer inspection during the legal proceedings. The logo, purportedly of a well-established firm, was subtly distorted, a clear deviation from their official branding. Furthermore, the font used throughout the documents was inconsistent, fluctuating between several typefaces, which raised immediate red flags to the financial forensic experts. Minor, yet critical, spelling errors were peppered within the fine print of these supposedly professional documents, a telltale sign of their inauthenticity. Webb meticulously orchestrated this deception, physically mailing these falsified statements to Eleanor from a rotation of various postal offices scattered across the state. This strategy was designed to prevent any single return address from directly linking him to the sophisticated fraud. The P.O. Box in Wilmington, listed for Signet Capital Management, a central component of his scheme, was merely a mail forwarding service, further obscuring his tracks. Webb maintained this elaborate charade for a staggering 16 years, consistently sending physical mail to Eleanor twice a month, a testament to his persistent deceit. The short-term bridge loan of $50,000 was the final calculated maneuver in Webb's elaborate deception. Webb Financial Services LLC was nothing more than another shell company, meticulously registered to present a veneer of legitimacy for this crucial loan. The $50,000 that supposedly transferred to Eleanor originated directly from Webb's personal checking account, not from any legitimate financial institution. In a chilling act of manipulation, he effectively loaned Eleanor a portion of her own money, knowing full well she was already financially distressed. This manufactured default then provided him with the pretext he needed to seize her remaining $300,000 from the trust. The Marcus Webb escrow account, as it turned out, was simply his personal checking account, further exposing the fraudulent nature of the entire operation. This final act brought the total amount stolen to an estimated $1.7 million. Webb had meticulously planned every eventuality, including his own supposed and quite comfortable retirement. On November 29, 2023, the meticulous investigation culminated in a dramatic arrest at Miami International Airport. Marcus Webb, identified by federal agents, was apprehended while attempting to board a flight to São Paulo, Brazil, at Gate D24. The arrest was executed under a warrant issued by the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. His luggage, a black carry-on suitcase, contained several incriminating items: a single uncashed cashier's check for $75,000, payable to a fictitious name, and a meticulously forged passport with a different identity. Eleanor's legal team, leveraging their swift action, had successfully filed an emergency injunction against his remaining assets, specifically preventing the impending sale of the Miami condo. This crucial legal maneuver secured a significant portion of her lost funds. The total recovered assets at the time of Webb's apprehension amounted to approximately $850,000, representing nearly half of the original $1.8 million taken from Eleanor's inheritance. This arrest marked a turning point in the complex case, bringing a measure of justice to Eleanor. Marcus Webb was ultimately convicted on 5 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of aggravated identity theft, and 1 count of money laundering. He received a severe sentence of 25 years in federal prison, effectively ending his career and freedom. Eleanor Vance, despite the legal victory, only recovered $1.1 million after extensive legal fees, leaving her still short by $600,000. This case highlights a critical question. Was Webb's primary motive pure greed, a calculated desire for illicit wealth, or a deeply misguided sense of entitlement to his client's hard-earned assets? Was he truly oblivious to the ethical boundaries he crossed? I want to know where you land on this complex moral dilemma. Comment below with your thoughts. And if stories like this matter to you, stories that expose the hidden truths and reveal the darker side of human ambition, stories the powerful would rather you forgot, then subscribe to our channel. We uncover and tell one compelling story every single week, bringing light to the shadows.